The Swede. So let's see. Previously, right, this. Also this. And, quite proudly, this. So, to unravel those thises, to recap some highlights of the previous session, we began in earnest to attempt to establish permanent settlement in the New World. And the first of our potential rivals for such efforts on the mainland are the British, who began to engage in their own colonial adventures down here around the mid-coast. However, in doing so, they decided to kick over a hornet's nest and attack the Iroquois. It went poorly for them. What went worse was that they decided they had to drag us into this war, that they should have been able to handle their own or not start at all. Many brave colonial militia were bravely sacrificed to defend our own territory in the face of such shenanigans. We were able to piece out of that war and leave the English to suffer the consequences of their own actions, which then escalated into a complete collapse of the English government, which now claims to be a republic under Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell. We have sent all manner of diplomatic advisors and crisis relief aid to our dear and beloved friends among the British population, which has led to the rise of this stack of English noble rebels up here in the Scotlands, who are friendly to our cause. We'll see how that situation evolves as we go forward. The situation is certainly evolving strongly. And meanwhile, I was directing most of my attention towards getting ready to dive in there and get more hands-on about resolving that particular crisis. But then, meanwhile, over here, the Burgundians seem to be having a bit of a spat with the Castilians, which is currently leaning in Castile's favor. And the Dutch chose to seize the day and go in there, planning to retake Antwerp? Yeah, they're after Antwerp. And we, as good friends of these fine rebellious upstarts over here, the corner Germans of the swampland, have been called in to aid them. So we're gonna do what we can for that, which it should be a fairly manageable war, given that Burgundy is already a bit roughed up by their conflict against the Spanish. So yes, mobilizing and shipping over there to fight a regular war against Burgundy. That's going to be at the front of my attention for now, but I'm going to keep plenty of resources committed to diplomacy with the English until such time as a new status quo emerges. Hopefully, we can turn this into an opportunity to weaken Britain as a whole. I have been eyeing the fact that Scotland still exists as an independent nation and does not hate us. They're a little sour, but we remember. Sweden repays its debts. Let's set time moving. Remind myself where unmothball my big fleet. And I have most of my light fleet patrolling in the channel there. And I think I'd already started walking my armies over to Denmark to have us muster. People are laughing at our armies. Our wild, undisciplined mob will show them! It's all part of the strategy. When strong, appear weak. when stronger, appear silly. Oh man, Austria's involved in this, on probably the Spain side of that war. Yeah, let's just take a look there. Yeah, Castile, Austria, Wallachia, and the Pope are all in on that. Let's see. I'll tolerate some small-scale heresy. Our heir is ill. We send sizable money to give Karl a doctor, or place his fate in God's hands. Current king is 46, and that's a 29-year-old Karl. Jesus, take the wheel. God wills it. Oh, and it looks like, well, that was over quickly. Cromwell is defeated, and Richard IV here has re-established some semblance of order in the British Isles. Too bad, Cromwell. You nearly had something there. We will continue to oversee diplomacy in the area. As we work on getting an army together. So let's see, who are friends of Burgundy in this? Mainz, which has become a pretty sizable South German power. Ragusa, of all things. And Münster. Münster, who have kind of solidified as many of these territories around the river. Let's see, do I have a feasible path to just walk to the Netherlands? Not right now. Weirdly enough. Let's see, what's missing from that? To either walk to the Netherlands or walk to one of my belligerents. I would need a path through Hamburg and Lunenburg, or Saxe-Lauenburg and Lunenburg. And my current transport width is 8. It would take 3 trips to move one of these stacks. And the Dutch army looks like it's gotten itself mulched pretty quickly. Good going. Well, the big boats are getting themselves sorted out. They will be ready to go lay the siege. And this year, I can move up to next level boatery and Gustavian infantry. Which I may as well flip into now since I'm taking a while to get everything else sorted out. Yeah. I will allow some months to reorganize in Gustav style. The HRE has mostly been doing the work of dismantling itself. Getting all post-electoral. Just get over there. Create a big old fight pile. Where am I using you if not here? Are you in the New World? I don't think. Did you just not show up properly in the interface yet? After I merged these guys? Yeah, okay, that was just an interface foible. Alright. Let's start attempting auto-transport. I'll get the fleet to roll out there and establish containment. Which won't be hard because Burgundy is the only power involved here that has any naval presence at all. Wait for those done repair. Yes! All fired up and ready. And damn, I am paying a lot for forts right now. Let's just moth some of those right away. I am nowhere near fully engaged in this war. I cannot afford to have all of my forts running full power. Yeah, that'll especially help, easing back on the big ones out on the Russian frontier. Fort Gotland. Yeah, keep up my commitments to colonial shenanigans. And if I can get my boat limit higher, definitely adding more transport weight to the shipping boats, the mobila boats. Let's see. No activity there, and the Dutch already have a bit of a blockade running on. That is the, I think that's the complete Burgundian Navy. Yeah, 310, 520. That's most of them accounted for. There's one squadron that's not a part of that pile. We'll just continue the hard work of getting the army all piled over onto the frontier, into the Low Countries, and then the fighting. Damn shame about that English Civil War, just kinda came and went. Didn't even cost them any boats. Senseless. Alright, I'm gonna throw down a war tax. There we go. That's the good shit. Between that and... could use some way to bleed off that inflation. 5 is... 5, nearly 6 is worth noticing. Little bits of native agitation in the colonies, the usual. Alright, we've created a substantial pile. Once everyone else is over, we can then head over and start trying to push some fights. There are still Habsburgs on the Polish throne. Concerning. George has been split in half, not partitioned. Divided by the existence of these folks. Circassia. Alright, all 60,000 soldiers and Fred Engelbrecht all in position. Let's go do a fightin'. A boat fight unfolded while I wasn't looking. Very good. Nothing of mine was destroyed, all as it should be. And the blockade tightens. Blockading is pretty good stuff when you're at war. If you're able to create and sustain a blockade, you will just absolutely tear up your opponent. Blockading creates war exhaustion just slowly, malignantly builds up and undermines everything your enemy needs in order to keep a war going, let alone Should give me finances for a while. It's part of why optimism is such a powerful idea over in the innovative set. Having a way to sink your war exhaustion is huge for sustaining violence. I think with these guys over here now, between that fight we just did and the one that's about to happen there, we're going to have the decisive battles we need to have the upper hand in terms of troop count. Yeah, that's our army trading advantageously after charging like into a forest across a river with only moderate skill on the part of Fred. Fred's a pretty mediocre general. Good stuff, Fred. You are sufficient for this campaign. And it looks like a lot of these forts are under-maintained. Let's see, that's a size 2, that's a size 2. Yeah, there are many forts out here, but they're all tiny baby forts. So, yeah, with our big ol' artillery-heavy death stack, we can snap these open quite quickly. They will take mere months to siege. Oh, good job. You've managed to fund some separatists. Netherlands, good work. And, wow, Spain. Well, this is where Burgundy ends. The Burgundians end. No more Burgund. No country for old Burg. Although this now turns Castile into our great Western European terror that must be dealt with. Look at that Pope. Look at that Pope of Sicily. Look at that Pope going after Aragon. That is a kingdom of God waiting to occur. Well, I say that there's like a decision that exists for the Pope to flip over into another kind of semi-union country, but I think that's mostly fueled by North Italian territory. They need to grab like Milan and Genoa and other bits up here. So their current southern expansion wouldn't contribute to that. Alright, just gonna keep... This is a weird fight. Okay, we've wound up on the same side as the Pope versus these rebels. Sure. None of our soldiers are actually in that battle, so... Yeah, fights are getting crowded now. Yeah, maybe I should head that way. Well, let's see if I can siege. Well, no, that's their siege. Let's let the Spaniards have done the heavy lifting of crushing the Burgundian army, which is great. But they're also fully entwined in there doing all the occupying, so trying to enter Burgundy and secure war demands at this point is going to be weird and complicated and get caught up in the foibles of the system. Get that extra diplomacy slot. Good shit. So what I think I'm going to do, we'll focus on knocking out their allies so that then after Castile is done with them, there will be as few complications as possible between us and settling the score over there. Man, France could make a comeback as some sort of semi-France. A mighty Franco-Iberian hell blob. So how are the colonies doing in the meanwhile? About halfway done with Manhattan. And likewise, a bit shy of halfway done with Inu there. Very good. Once Inu is done, we'll be able to spin off our northern colony puppet. And then both of our colonists can focus on securing the border territories down that way. We can try to close off the shore and strengthen our claim on everything inland there. Truces from the native war pass. As will happen. Yeah, I think that's the only other fort inside of Munster's territory here, so with that knocked out, we should be very close to forcing them to concede. Just check if there's any part of them that's claimed by the Netherlands. They want Osnabrück. Alright, I was touching the wrong province. There we go. Just flip that occupation over to you guys. Continue this sieging. Who else? It would have to go inland and start beating up. Mainz has a lot of forts in their heartland. For regular, like, background native uprisings, they will cause, if one of those uprisings succeeds, they'll cause damage to the colony, and if that's enough to remove all of its population, then it will be destroyed. I think a typical native uprising, like a little skirmish like that, will kill a couple hundred people off the colonial progress track. Okay, the Castilians appear to be satisfied. Yes, their war with Burgundy is over. And it would be up to the Dutch to try to remove any of these lesser partners from the war. There would be no separate piecing for us against them. So let's see, what's the big board like now? 30,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry, 15,000 cannon. Of which mostly Germans. Burgundy itself is extremely depleted. And this pile here is a decent fraction of the overall hostile army. I will renew those war taxes. They are very necessary for making this remotely survivable economically. There we go. Those battles are pushing some good progress onto the stack. More Flemish separatists lashing out. Although, they are still nominally hostile to me. They're friendly to the Netherlands, but not to our armies. And while Burgundy's enthusiasm is low, it looks like they... Alright, no, the overall score for the Dutch is higher. Alright, yeah. That number seemed reduced at some point, but yeah, we're 27%, that's decent progress. And we are racking up a hearty contribution. Right, unfreeze time. So I'm going to bring the army over this way to be ready to deter those Burgundians. If the rebels get out of my way, I'll be willing to march past them. And I can sustain the blockade quite comfortably. What is Poland doing here? Oh, they're helping France again. Right, so even that was a separate... Burgundy was getting torn 3 ways. What a predicament. Oh hey, there's Loon. X, 6 production, 2 manpower. Largely boxed in by rivers. Currently Flemish and Catholic. Alright, Munster's been knocked out. We received some reparations for our share, and the Netherlands seized some territory. There we... maybe? I'm looking for a chance to pounce on that army. If they give it. If not, I'll several for pushing the line deeper. And Ragus has been knocked out. Well, more been convinced to back. I'm not sure Ragusa had much of a stake in this. They were probably roped in for weird political reasons. And as long as the war tax is around, I'm actually getting a small budget surplus. Very good. And the total enemy force is now small enough that I would feel safe starting to scale this army back. Just take 1 stack's worth and back them off. Send them home so they're not cutting into the man pile. We can make do with just the 2/3. Maybe even with just the 1/3. The totals on that board, especially with the fact that Poland is also here, rampaging and looting, just grinding their way across the countryside. Really, at this point, I'd feel confident in the Netherlands just taking this on their own. Take some administrative power, but lose Pope influence and Clergy loyalty. Clergy loyalty is currently adequate. Or trade my philosopher for an inquisitor. Yeah, that's worth it. Well, I'll need some cash on hand before I'm able to install a new rank 2 minister. Muscovites! Well, it's a good thing I had that army just break off from their usual duties. Get them shipped to Neva. And get these forts out of the mothballs. Yeah, one of the reasons to occasionally not tear apart the stability of your immediate neighbors as much as you could sometimes is that sometimes their rebels can also be your rebels. They will cross the border and become your problem. These fellows who think they can make a new Moscow, taking advantage of no guy. I can only hope the Burgundians recognize the position they're in before too long. The cost of this is all starting to pile up. We are running down our man reserve. And while we can see from our espionage that the English army has not at all recovered from the horrors of the Civil War, I expect the Royal Navy has just kind of chugged along entirely without notice. Right, it's Great Britain, not United Kingdom. Yeah, all 100 boats. 35 big ship, pushed over their force limit even. Britain. So my new continental arch-rivals look to be Spain and Austria. Supposing the Poles do not betray me. Supposing. How's my religion chart doing? Yeah, we're back to being majority Catholic. I will at times contemplate when it would be a good time to flip. But the status quo is holding adequately, so... steady as we go. Yep, we have the upper hand. It's just a question of how long we can sustain violence. Burgundy's greatest weapon against us is the economy. The sheer inevitability of the price of war. Please break this stupid fort so we can go snap that army. And borrow more Berg, yes. Borrow some Berg dollar, grant them a new world charter. Pull some additional levies, call a diet in response. That will help. Luxembourg falls. And double back to fight mines. And that wasn't even for part of our own siege. The difficulties that emerge when you have two separate but co-belligerent entities fighting on the same ground. Strange technicalities of war. I'm ready to pull back another slice of the big army. This campaign went from, you know, that early precarious phase where many things could go wrong, quite firmly over to the just business as usual. This is going to produce some real ugly borders, and I look forward to them. An appropriately hideous peace. Separatists are continuing to spread. Where is that army? Big enough to send out there. Netherlands, don't you dare abandon us when we're about to crush a shitload of boat. We do this together. Gonna rule the waves. You and me, Netherlands. Yeah, good stack of large boat do great things. Aldemar Craig. Controversial protectionist. Some mercantilism for legitimacy. Or throw him out. I haven't been really going strong with mercantilism. I don't get out of here. You're fired. You're dead to me. Crag. Besides, right now I need the cash. I am willing to leave some seats on the council vacant. It means having instead many tens of ducats. Yes, there we go. That's the last of the transporting. That pile. The mercantilism stat increases the amount of trade power that you get from provinces directly. So it's a helpful number, but the bonus is small, and it's a number that takes a lot of effort to try and budge strongly in one direction or another. Really, for the efforts we could invest into keeping mercantilism high, we could very easily instead grab a bunch of other trade boosting abilities and put them to work for us instead. There are some countries whose situations make that number very useful, others less so. Let's get you guys shipped home. Getting more of the army back to friendly territory will mean fewer of our soldiers dying and less being spent on replacing them. So we can start recovering manpower, and we will be paying less. Oh, pardon? Where is that coming from? Spoils of war. We are doing some kind of looting and rampaging that's giving a small burst of cash. That has passed now. Or should pass soon. Once that gets up to 900 or so, I would consider ripping the colonist out and sending them on their way to start the next province. Can end up in your favor, since you start getting this several months of travel time out of the way early. Whoa, what? Okay, yeah, that's burgundy colored. For a moment, out of the corner of the eye, it looked like the English had somehow regained a slice of Normandy. That is very much not the case. And Burgundy now stands alone. Pieces of Georgia, apparently. How they got there, I don't know, but apparently there's Georgia up here. Just North Georgia. Alright, the Spaniards have begun their own colonial efforts up north. There's a Spanish Mississippi. Thunderdome continues to iterate in the Midlands. Spanish Brazil is spreading out. Dutch colony way down in La Plata. And Portuguese Colombia, it appears, is declaring independence. Congratulations, early Colombia. Congratulations, 1639, independent Colombia. Good luck! They have picked a fight with what passes for a British Empire. I think it was yeah, it's a Portuguese Columbia. Alright. I'm gonna make the call to not renew my war taxes. Since, alright, that other Burgundian war cleared up. France reasserting itself deep in the south. Only 1/3 of my army has been left fighting in Burgundy. Little economic reforms out in the field. I'll stay married into the Polish for now. I do want to be careful about that, though. Wouldn't want my dynasty to catch the Habsburg. Been doing just fine having my own royal family, thank you very much. Oh, hi there. Hi, Burgundian army. Hi. It's surprisingly large Burgundian army. That's all mercenary, isn't it? That's a thing Burgundy does. Yeah, 24 mercenary regiments on hand right now. Burgundy is quite good at mercenary builds. Alright guys, back out of there. Best of luck, Netherlands. Alright, our current state of not having a direct heir has given us the opportunity to place this adequate young Christina, who will have a strong claim despite not being of our current... Sure! Congratulations. Our new queen! Nice and legitimate transaction there. Farewell, House Rosenstrahl. Hello, House Vasa. Where did that army go? They still exist. I'd chewed up armies. There they are. They made it back to Holstein somehow. Clever, I suppose. We didn't take a stability hit, so I think that event just let us directly replace our ruler. No death required. Meanwhile, over here was what policies do I have? Unrest and rebel support. But I have to finish exploration for those, so I'm not expecting to get them. Or for this in particular. Likewise, hired adventurers, that's exploration, so that's off the table. Just starting to contemplate how I'm going to spend all these excess points. Most of the time I play outside of Europe, so I get used to having to dedicate all of my government resources to tech and ideas for keeping pace. Let's do a bit of quick top-down macro energy development. Grow yet more bodies. To helpful provinces. Anywhere that's just cheap to develop. There we go. Just a healthy extra layer of manpower. Yes, meanwhile, Manhattan is nearly done. Got those two 300 and something ducat loans. Yeah, I may have to just bring the army back over in order to properly smack down Burgundy. Nobody feuds on my land. They are tough to hang out as long as they have. Burgundy is remarkably durable on the social side of things. They can endure a lot of stress. Alright, province retaken. Good. Let's get all of y'all walking over. Manhattan complete. Welcome to the family. Try to get some top-down views of how Burgundy's economy is doing. 37 income, 8 inflation. $200 in the treasury right now. What is stability? Apparently we had a Christina Vasa way back. Right now, that's our... Yeah, that's our current, yeah. Before then it was all Rosenthal and a little bit of von Wudelbach. And the occasional interregnum of no dynasty. I'll keep the blockade running for now, and then hopefully 40,000 guys would be enough. Let's leave one of the piles back home in Finland. Oh, the Netherlands got us access through Brunswick. Very good. So you guys can just walk. There we go, getting those new colonies underway best we can. 3 waves of settling these ones, and then pair there, pair there. 3 waves of that will get that section of the coast closed off. Then we can go back to trying to spread our northern borders, touch things off there, close that way. Oh, Netherlands was able to pull off a win against their army on their own. They got a good general there. 334. In Antoon de Winter. Maybe you have this under control after all. Maybe the war is over. Giving up Brabant, Antwerp, and Ghent, and Loon. And paying cash, of which we get a slice. We are owed several favor. And I can finally reduce army funding. Reduce army funding, fire all the Vort garrisons. Get the commercial patrols running again. Put the battleships to sleep. And London is starting to notice our friendly diplomatic agents. Our Peace Corps. Britain under Richard IV. Ah! The Pope has chosen to affirm our legal right to the Canadas. Of which we have a nice default name of Vinland. Let it hence be known. Yes, map, refresh yourself. Map. I'm gonna give you a month's rollover to understand, map. Map. Map, that is wrong. That is wrong, and you know it's wrong. There we go. Good boy, map. Behold, Sigvardia. Yeah, a bunch of little guys got ripped out of Burgundy as well during the fighting. Whether or not they exist, I can take a look at them. That's a damn good governor they got there. Amazbag. So, they are a colony. They have this special government type, the colonial government. I haven't played as one before. I think it's kind of a pseudo-republic deal. One that is well equipped to conduct being a colony business. And then they have their own idea set that they get in on. Yes, they have elections. Every 8 years. So how republic governments work is, rather than the whole system of monarchs and heirs that you need to make your way through, and dynastic ties and so forth, a new daughter. Yes. Average claim, 532, that's a good, hella legitimate. Ulrika. Welcome. So yes, rather than doing the whole dynasty thing, they will have a leader, and then when the election cycle comes around, you choose to either appoint a fresh leader from, like, one of a set of candidates that will be handed to you, or you can choose to keep your existing guy, have them win re-election. However, and so keeping the same guy increases the stats of this ruler, because they are a veteran who has been around for a while, but also eats into your republic tradition, which is their equivalent of legitimacy. And if you run out of republican tradition, your current governor, president, stadtholder, what have you, declares himself president for life, and you flip over into a monarchy but have no legitimacy to back it up, because you're just El Presidente. So you get to have rough times. Or if you play it right, you can use it to get a monarchy started under an amazing super king for your first good age. Yes, I will take this. The national debt is a small price to pay for art. Yeah, just get a full stock of advisors back on the table. And our heir is of the Vasa dynasty. We are going Vasa. The new boss, as the old boss. All the clergy are unhappy with their current territory ratio, which is that was caused by doing developments there, so I can just pick clergy land and give it some up, and they will be happy. Here, have a manpower over there. Problem solved. This Spain is neutral at me. They consider themselves an enemy of Poland, but otherwise have no beef against me. I can work with that. Oh, yes, and they are now finally Spain. Castile no longer. A proper Spain. Spain and West France. You know, your Spain, your Aqua Spain, your Breton Spain, your Parisian Spain. Cost Spain-politan. It looks like Aragon finally ceased. That was probably the one missing building block for Spain to occur. Yeah, this is not a Habsburg Spain. Trastamara. Under Emperor Enrique. So another element of colonial government. Go in and check on the Gulf of St. Lawrence node here. And go down and look here, and there's Sigvardia, which generates an amount of trade power for themselves. But then, over here, most of Sigvardia's trade power is, instead of used for themselves, transferred over to us as their parent country. So the growth of the colony will cause more value to go into the trade node, but we get the leverage. We take that and we drag it across the ocean instead of having it collected here. Yeah, Venice is getting disillusioned. They are kind of being the Burgundy of the southeast there. They had a pretty good run in the early game, but they picked a fight with someone too large, or had a fight picked with them. Such is life. Rest into missionary strength, or flat missionary strength. I really don't want either of those. I'm not using my missionary for anything, he's just there. Cork bottle stoppers. Lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna get some firm economic leverage out of once I finish expansion ideas here, get them competitive merchants, teach my businessmen to be rude and pushy, for profit. Oh, I can also check on something that was concerning me was if my colony puppet would take up a relation slot, and they don't. They are free. They do not count against my number of treaty partners. I can work with them at no cost. What are you doing over here? How did you get over... Are you fighting England without me? How and why? What have you done? Did you manage to destroy their navy in order to do this, or did you just Jones your way in? Just kind of crowbar your way past the... Nah, most of the navy's still there. Less of it than that was there a while ago. Maybe they won a big fight. There was like 30 Anglo boat there. It raises questions. I'll keep running 2 colonists until I've closed off the coast. Then I'll be willing to abandon exploration and swap something else in, trade-wise. Expect colonial expansion will pick up quite a bit once Sigvardia and... I think I'm going to call this one Hansland. Once the 2 of them get established, they'll be able to start poking out their own colonial efforts. Flag! And Skane. No way am I allowing Skane to be shut down by disease. Get that stimulus spending going. A bunch of native tribes are getting chewed up by internal conflict. And Britain. Get out of my zone. There is nothing to forgive about that, Britain. You stay the fuck out of my zone. And there's the first little colonial regiment of Sigvardia. Good job. Starting to do things on their own. Like they should. Oh, the checkbox that I probably ignored in the process of doing that. So there exists the concept of a colonial war, which is like a smaller scale light war that's of smaller scale than regular war. It's one wherein neither side asserts or expects it to be a fight over home territory in the proper lands. It's a fight that's happening out there and will be solved shortly. Because y'all are gonna stay the fuck out of my zones. They are roughing up my boats. How did you survive? You are magic. I never mothballed the big ships. We could maybe ride out there and raise some hell. Give me an admiral. Have him start a fight. Okay, good. The other war that they were at ended as soon as I got involved. Sydney Batham. After whom some islands will be named. Managed to knock out 2 of their large boat. That ain't bad. Alright, colony occupied. I can now spend points to directly take it from them. Unilateral-like. If I deploy one of my colonists to it, it will culture flip it. I can get all of my main fight pile settled in there. Local shipyard will make it easier to recover, and I can try to get a nice rolling battle going against the Royal Navy. And Sigvardia is quickly setting up their local militia. Doing us. what terms would I want to beat out of the English if I could? What tools do I have to try and snap at them? Yeah, returning land to Scotland. That would be the punishment I would leverage. Create a Scotland to contest them. In the event of the crazy pie-in-the-sky scenario where I'm able to actually put boots on the ground in the Britain, where if I do, yeah, just getting into like Orkney would give me an appropriate position to try and assail the mainland from. Orkney or Western Isles. It's 2 years before I'll have another opportunity to get an agent inside. There's a friendly shipyard down there as well. So all things considered, I could just as well try to run my guerrilla boating campaign out of Schleswig. I've created a slight local boat advantage. See how hard we can leverage that. 2 large traded for a large and a light. Yeah, if I'm going to stage an invasion, this would be the direction to do it. Going after the other English colonies would require going through many natives. Or going by sea, which is the problem when confronting the British. No one goes by sea. Well, the Sigvardians want to attempt a little adventure through the inland. All power to them. They do it alone. The governor is within his rights, per the charter, to run off on any wild, crazy adventures he feels are necessary. Per local custom. Alright, fleet's all repaired up. And yes, well, the Royal Navy is quite huge. I have no way of knowing how much of it is tied up in a given theater. Yeah, Maldive is still Maldive. There's a Portuguese South Africa. Kong. Just trying to eyeball places where the English might be asserting their interests, which at this point is nowhere out east, not yet. Korea keeps going. Alright, let's take our chance. So we can get the full army over there. We'll have ourselves quite a position. Also, let's see. So it's only 44,000 of that army is the British army directly. Oh, there's nobody here in the 13th colony. Good job, Sigvardia. Noble warriors. If the British let me get away from this, there will be immense shenanigans afoot. Hey, Scotland. But no, it's not about anything. Wanted to stop by, just wanted to say hello, ask how you're doing out here, little Scotland. Little Shetland, Scotland. The old Scottish Shedlands. We worry about you. It's been a long time. Haven't heard anything about your grand exploits, your heroic ways, because you've been reduced to a tiny speck of land. You still have tiny horses on this island? The Polish have engaged more British warships. I should get over there and help. Yeah, that's baffing at it again. Baffing about. Which way is he running? Ooh, Dodger Bank. Keep on him. He is my rival. Ben Buckingham. I side out of this gets reinforced in a couple of days. In today? In half my army was what? Fuck. No, no longer do that. Go home, because I have to go replace a bunch of you. Because somebody fucked up the invasion plan. There will be economy to pay for this. Fortunately, there are tools in place for easy rebuilding of standardized army blocks. Well, now instead I've trapped 20,000 English soldiers on that island, so maybe if I land somewhere else, possibilities will open. Except I'm perhaps not actually prevent which way over Moray Firth. Yep. Alright, there's a plan. Let's start with Verona over there. If I can get a foothold there, it will be faster to juke soldiers onto the main islands. That will give me my chance. Alright, soldiers from the British West Indies have arrived in the colonies. The bold, adventurous raids of Axel Sture will soon be put to an end. He will be remembered. Meanwhile, I must hunt Sidney Bevan. He is my rival. He is my rival, and he is going inland. Would this be my chance? He's got half of Britain's small boat and a quarter of their large. Alright, need more of a presence in order to start pushing that fort. Just traded. I didn't want that summary to vanish yet. But I traded 3 light boat for some other, looks like 2 large and some more light. Took fair damage in the fighting. Well, they will spend some months on the bench. Stand proud, Axel. Find glory. Glory farewell, Axel. Oh, on the upside, I've claimed my goal ages ago, so the taking score is in my favor. Pity I can't merge damaged boat. Just kind of smush them together and hope a functional vessel falls out. That's how it works, right? I can just kind of squeeze boats. They're fluid, kind of a putty. You just smush one boat into another. I will start making advances on the Iroquois. Having them on side would provide a lot in terms of positioning and fighting ready bodies. Keep the English at bay. Just make it official. Yeah, Scotland, you're alright. You're good people, Scotland. Sweden smiles upon you. Well, once our war is over, should have some sound opportunities to reach out to the locals. I have stability to spare. Well, all of you should be asking yourselves why you stayed in diseased hellhole. The old Stockholm sweats. Got folks down with the syndrome. That other large boat must also join the main fleet. Must very pressingly join the main fleet. Cancel the auto transport. Well, there's Baffin again, and it doesn't look like he's replaced any of his ships. A good sign. The English just can't afford to bring more boats to the fight. As long as we trade favorably. Three for one, pretty good. And minimal damage to the surviving ships. We should buy time to run more transport. Alright, just let these guys quickly spend a month rollover under repair, since that will take off. Yep, there we go. Fleet in fighting form. Forward! Briefly spied a whale. Alright, there's now 31,000 English soldiers just all piled up on Orkney. And there's the siege. Although, apparently... that's not a Scottish corps, that's a Norwegian corps! That's just mine by right! watching you, England. One of these cannon is unnecessary. I recruited a frivolous extra cannon. The Colombians are in Sigvardia. Perhaps I should be willing to end this. Or perhaps it is time for renewed aggression. Alright, hopefully this time will be different with respect to levels of success of amphibious invasions. Why is English 19? Alright, yeah, let's burn Killing Ground early. Get that slight edge. Not swap up the cannon type quite yet. I need that morale on short notice. Alright, here they go. I really hate that this is a change that was made. In earlier Europas and earlier versions of this Europa, this blockade would prevent these fuckers from crossing this line and attacking these soldiers. Fortunately, this time I had boats to run to. Alright, they would now settle for white peace. The state of this is tedious enough that I will settle for white peace. I need like twice as many transports to be able to put down a substantial fight pile. I got what I wanted. They're not getting their colony back. That's gone. I just seized that unilaterally. Next time, we will have the support of some new fast friends, who have recognized our willingness to contain the English menace. Soldiers, what is wrong? Oh, there's already guys on this transport, right? Gotta drop them off. Looks like you're having a bit of an internal political dispute. Want me to help you with that? I feel I could make a convincing argument with my gun. Good talk. I feel we got a lot of diplomacy done today. And rush out that naval professionalism. If I can build up a little more Pope influence, I can get some church taxes running. That'll help with the economic situation. Either church taxes or usury. Well, not so much usury. Yeah, church taxes. That'll be the big... Or maybe usury. I mean, I've got $5 of interest running right now, and that's quite unpleasant. Gotta figure out how to solve a 13-ducat deficit. Large boats, you sleep now. Oh hey! Trade power boosting idea, hello. Exert your influence all over this economy. And let's see, some of that is, yeah, seizing that colony briefly put us over our natural support limits. You can see that at 420 cost of running Will of Woodstock there. That will clear as soon as these guys are done. Venice still has little fragments of coastal territory. Austria is cutting sizable holes in the Ottomans, although there's much more Ottoman to fight. My rival, Britain. Alright, I could make up the remaining budget deficit if I just fire my council. Everybody out. Downsizing. Actually, keep the small group here and send the large group back to the east. And now I can afford to upgrade the cannons. Yeah, I've ceased to patrol the Baltic. Poland has become a quite sizable trade influence there. Fortunately, we're still able to drag a lot of value off to Copenhagen. Off to Lubeck, off to the Strait. Where it becomes our value. Economies are troublesome things. And the Pope has recognized our right to colonial Eastern America as we dip into the name bin for the painfully dry New Sweden, or Hansland. Our new colonial possession. Whereby we recognize We recognize twice over the accomplishments of our historic adventurer, the great Sigvard Han. Effort will continue to connect these lands and make them whole. Once we have some semblance of a border, it'll be easier to keep the colonial army in fighting shape and throw them at specific targets instead of just having them be a widespread garrison of works in progress. And with all of that said, much has been done. We answered the call of our faithful ally and helped to liberate many peoples from beneath the crushing yoke of Burgundians. We continued to spread our influence and way of life throughout strange new horizons and punished certain rude and unpleasant people who could not be bothered to respect natural spheres of influence. And in the process made new friends as we showed that this Britain is perhaps not so great, and that together we could triumph. Richard IV, House of Rook, will in time learn what it means to heed the Swede.